Pero vamos. Viene Miami contra Toronto Ultra. Yo le voy a los Miami. Vamos, vamos, vamos. Uy, ya 2 kills. Ganamos,
Whenever I like to watch Miami Heretics, they usually dominate every single P1. And you can already tell with 2 kills going their way, all we got to do is continue to sulk and hold down the lane.
Looking really solid. Super with the extra AR also in play. Looking really nice to lock down this open lane. Not even playing for the P2 side of the map yet. Just letting Real run routes over that direction. Ultra trying to set up their next break attempt. Inside Joe. First 2 kills are good. Hercules trying to look over the top of the hard point. Also takes off the contestant and an opportunity here for Toronto to stay.
No, you haven't really got a lot of time off of this P1. You're still in control of the map for that P2. Final 15 seconds here. And now Miami, after soaking up a lot of that P1 time, are just going to cut their losses early on, hit the long route. Real working his way over through well side. But all of Ultra, they backed up.
Insight gets a read that Real's playing over towards well side. Kleenex right there with it. Oh, follow up from Super is solid. Looking for more. Instead of playing for the spawns, it's early. Not going to work out. And now maybe a 1v1 with Mercules and Metals, and Mercules able to lock things up early on this P2.
You best believe the guy's got a beamer on him, so let's sit on this POV for a little bit. As that's 3 dead. Miami has to try to work their way through lobby. Kleenex is already going to be contested, and Miami are setting up a very long pinch. You got one going through the front, everyone else do well. Every kill that they get spawns them all the way across the map.
Insight had the read on it, called for help. Kleenex right there to assist. Now Joe. Over the middle of the map, and that's absolutely perfect from Ultra. Able to re-slip this.
Aquí viendo el evento, brother. En verdad yo estoy bien jugué con estos juegos.
Yeah, thankfully Rencore opens up with that first kill onto Mercules, so you have a little bit of pressure through the front door. Now that opens up the gap through the side, but trade after trade. Oh! Standing, he's able to walk away with 3. So now the spawns for Ultra, still at the old HP. Miami have a free rotation over towards new.
And look at this line of scrimmage that Miami's setting up in the mini-map. You've got contest over at old. You've got Super backing up over towards mid to watch this cross, although he's
Qué buena, loco. Ni yo mismo.
A little bit of trouble. So just when you thought Miami had the perfect setup on rotation, now the test is already here for Toronto.
Yeah, they're already in your grill, trying to contest you over towards top left. Thankfully, you take care of Joe to seize. Now you just got to win the gunfight through the front. And the team shot's good enough to take care of Rencore. The nade, good enough to take care of Real. And that's a team kill as well, but you still have the numbers if you're Ultra.
Yeah, Super's just hanging on to the high ground. One final read over towards the arches. Has Kleenex at bay. Has to try to contest. We're caught on the reload. Insight clears out that top window position. Now Ultra can get to work with a spawn flip on the left-hand side of the map. Maybe a chance to contest this last 20 for him.
Yeah, Miami should get a heads-up note on that because your 2 teammates spawn over towards well, but Rencore doesn't react in time. Kleenex is able to find a double, so that final 20 is going to go in favor of Ultra, and they're winning gunfights off the rotation. Subsite already makes an appearance, and now you can blow the game wide open with a good hold here.
Absolutely the case, but it is just 3 Ultra members playing over the top of this hard point. Go to Steve's.
Aquí son kills regulares, no son XK.
Also coming through, but a long route on the way from Real. The read is there, but it's just one trick coming through. Berkeley trying to hold on to the cross, not able to do so. It's just down to Kleenex, and the last word is held by Rencore and Miami. Get their break.
Now Rencore trying to hold it down. SMG and AR in hand. Just trying to stall on time for the teammates to get back into the play, but now everyone from Miami in the position to play these trades. They know where the spawns are coming in.
¿Qué otros juegos tiene? Más ninguno.
Instantly turn around towards Lambo.
Sin joder.
It's going to be everything here from Super. Read down low is decent, but the win even bigger. Kleenex for a double inside the hard point. Also, make sure that Super is held back. Last 20 seconds. Important here for Toronto to try to lock this time down. Metal shut down from the open hallway. Here comes the pinch from the front. Real, one of the last ones standing, and will not be able to crack the code here. So Ultra reclaim the lead. Rencore Subsite again, turning up here for Toronto.
Yeah, and also Kleenex, the 13 star. He's been there excellent. He has taken his gameplay to a whole different level, but on the other side, Metals, he was like, Metals can give you consistent gameplay, especially in the respawn. You're going to stand a pretty good chance if you're Miami.
He's got an opportunity here off of the stun to follow up.
Lo único juego con lo meta, espérate.
5 in a row. Looking for shut down through open hallway. Miami not actually able to stay on the hard point here, which is a bit concerning considering that they have a good kill feed, and Toronto's going to come back in and find themselves a setup and get themselves some time.
Yeah, they're just keeping it scrappy through the middle of the map this time around. Want to stay alive over towards Spiral side, but Super lines up a double. The last player standing on the hard point is Mercules. He's able to find 2.
Yeah.
And at least contest around that mid-map area and still allows his teammates to have the spawns for new.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is a really good double for Mercules because Toronto was spawning up towards spawn over towards the well side with just 12 seconds remaining on the P1. Joe locking things down, creates a free route for Toronto to get into P2, and Mercules will know that this is a very tested position. He sees it by himself.
Yeah, just going to keep on backing up. I have all of the left side of the mini-map. So let me just read this pressure from different
Yo,
angles.
bueno.
Joe Deceives knows that he's also going to get pressure through the middle of the map. He's at least able to find one. Mercury's on the trade, so you have the numbers to still contest it.
Oh, insight, nice little up and over. Gives himself some space, has help as the spawns are still in for Toronto. First significant lead starting to brew here for the Ultras. Inside finds two, that cleans everything up, and Miami have to reset. And
Ultra va a coger la delantera bastante chévere aquí.
This hit convincingly for the Heretics.
And this is sort of like the series that they played
La vida del
you're
adulto.
going up against Ultra, who are
Es triste,
7-2
¿verdad?
hard point. You don't really have a guy that stands out in this lane. They're just doing the fundamental part better a lot this time around than they did the previous couple of stages. And if they keep on beating into rotation, you're always forced to break.
No, Super, tú no puedes llevarte el otro.
But at least you find 3 through the front
bien,
door if you're
Mercury,
Super, but it's still leads to nothing.
Yeah. 13 seconds, not enough time for Miami to send any numbers to try to finesse this scrap time. So they're going to, again, try to put together that 50-yard line, trying to battle. CleanX already finds one, moving quickly over the top. And that's a position that's super
Anda, el diablo.
A little back jump comes out, Metals with a pinch, and Miami will hold on to initial time here at 3.
Now they need a good chunk of time here at P3. You already have one player spawning out. Real's going to be set up on a natural pinch. He's able to also win a one-on-one. 3 kills go in favor of your way. If you're Miami, you know where they're spawning. Over towards well side. Let's just continue to build that line.
Well, things looking good for Miami, but Ultra, they were successful on this break attempt last time we were here. See if they can muster it again as we get elicited with Toronto Ultra.
I spawned out back.
Okay,
We're still playing this?
I'm gonna come off this to you.
Miami puede empatar el juego aquí. Ah, qué buena.
Okay, I blocked this.
Go new good, Jimmy. I'm just playing dubs, okay?
Yeah. I called the low mid cross from the E cross actually. Sorry.
Yep.
Ya lo Miami, ¿qué pasó ahí?
Go mid.
Y está como medio
One
lento.
shot. He's top dubs.
Okay,
He's
one
hitting
old,
open slow. One old, one top dubs.
stay down.
Ah, mira, fueron un sopa old. Dice que... Oh, diablo, le dieron duro a Metal. A ver si hago streaming. ¿Qué va a hacer? ¿A streamear? ¿Qué tú vas a streamear?
Yeah, top plat. He's going off his eye. He's going front office, bro. They're coming our open.
Oh, loco. No te creo, Metal contra. Ah, por nada, ya ha pasado esto como 2 veces. Con 2, mano. Miami necesita estos puntos obligados.
Give Joe time.
He's gonna be open. I don't see him. He's on the right, under right. Only two time.
Nah, Joe de verdad está jugando brutal.
Zooming out a little bit from the map itself, kind of picking out Mercury's voice. He
Sí,
calls
Real
these going
está
to
en la mierda ahora
when he's
mismo.
on the last one left standing on the hill. It's good stuff from Merc.
Yeah, just talking about the energy, it just sounds like he's the perfect fit for the social roster because everyone is calm, cool, and collected, focused on the play in front of them. You were at least able to keep that P4 a little bit scrappy.
Real de verdad.
Point lead in your favor.
Como que
Now
calienta.
Miami looking to fight back. They're
Esto va a
soaking up a lot
ponerse
of this P4
bueno.
time again, but they need this once for P2.
Yeah, they absolutely do.
No, va,
Again,
tiene las
they
ganas.
fight this war on
Con
two
base en
fronts
miedo.
right now with a 40-point deficit looming and a couple of kills coming away for Ultra to get back
Pecho.
on time for P1. Joe having a good map, 23 and 19. Inside over the top, shut down by Metals. Hands here for Miami with numbers as they clean up the hallways.
Oh,
Son
that's a
20
big
puntitos,
read
bueno.
at the right time because now what it does to the spawns for Ultra, they're 3 across
Oh.
the map. The rookie, Mercules, is able to at least line up 2. Teammates are going to fill that gap through the middle space and
Qué
now
bueno, loco.
still contest at the ending of this time, but Miami have the rotation to do.
What happens with the spawn with Rencor? On top of the new hill, that is a blessing. He can come back towards driveway, help out for this long play.
Obvio.
Super gets a look, and at least one member for Ultra playing through the outside of well. Has to back away, has help nearby. Also responsible for the cross.
Epa.
Super's got to read on a lot of this, but no kills coming
Un
through.
poquito de snake
Inside,
ahí.
Hercules teaming up. Rencor falls, it's just down to Real. He's overwhelmed. Ultra secure the break.
And the break
Ya
is
lo loco por
perfect
el
because I
break,
still
sí.
think that they have a chance, a slight chance of closing out the game here. So if you're Miami, obviously you don't want to give up all this time. You have to try to contest this. 2 players working their way through well, the rest through mid-spiral.
Bueno, Mercury está
CleanX is
25-20.
gonna handful. Joe Deceive starts it off with the first, and if you keep on trading, you're always going to be in a good spot if you're Ultra.
Yeah, Insight knows exactly what he has to watch. Just this play over to the side door. First kill in. Pistol out,
Insight.
trying to wait for help. Kleenex there to supply it, and
GG.
Insight's still alive.
Sí, ultra
So
ganó, ultra
Miami
ganó.
trying to find this final moment, this hit for the scrap time. They may have to give it up. Insight stayed alive too long, and now you get to bank on trying to play it perfectly over towards
diablo.
V3.
Yeah, it needs to be a locked-in setup right here for Miami if they want to stand a chance in the comeback here in map number 1. But already 2 players dying off the rotation. Your setup isn't going to be at full strength. So if you're Ultra, take your time on these routes. Everyone gets picked off in their one-on-one. Last player standing is going to be Joe Deceives, and he influences the backspawn sports team.
Oh, you get a little bit of a mantle here from Rencore. Timing does deter from the play just a touch. Ultra still stacked up over towards Tinside. Kleenex working the pitch from behind. Finds one from window.
hacer un
Look over
comeback
towards
aquí,
Real.
yo me
He'll
acuerdo
leave
de
that
mí.
for his teammates to try to overwhelm. Mercury's inside with the pistol. Shut down by Rencore, but there's the final flip. No one's going to touch. And what a debut for Mercury's. 27 and 23 with a minute 45 in the hill. What an absolutely unbelievable debut.
Oye, chamaquito nuevo. ¿Cuánto hizo? Creo que eso fue positivo.
That's a great opening hard. Trying to tie up the series. They're going to be the team early on the defense. Toronto Ultra going to set the tone early on with aggression over towards A, but they have no trophy system, so we're going to slow down the approach.
Nunca la he
I'll be
jugado,
interested to
Fino.
see, like, as this search and destroy starts to develop, do they trust Insight to play kind of the island role, or will they put Mercules in that position to kind of play it how he sees fit? We'll have to come to find out as we get deeper into the rounds. But for this one, it's just opening nades and stuns onto the corner towards A, pushes back Toronto initially, but killing the noise, creating some doubt. Ultra now restaging.
And you're consistently showing face over here at A, so you're just pulling the defense on this side of the map, and you're just trying to find an opening for Kleenex to eventually work this pinch, but Bomb is slowly pushed up towards the side.
Uy,
with Joe
súper
Deceives
con uno.
involved.
Yeah, good contest here from Miami. Play from Vent also works out. It's traded. Here comes that flank, though. Well, what route does Kleenex want to take him? He's going to try to go over through garage side. He does find the first. Real right behind this play through Vent. Finds one. Can't quite get through the Vent initially, but still slips away 1v1.
Oh, some star SMGs in a one-on-one. 25 seconds to go. Kleenex has the bomb in hand. You know that you're going up against Real. It's all about the timings.
And the time's ticking. Real's already checked over the top of the B site. Holds a corner. Kleenex making his move. Now they see each other. Real backs away. Puts the pressure onto the clock. Kleenex tries for the instant.
Qué buena, Real. Diablo, qué
Doesn't
buena.
wait to see if he plants it or not. Just chows it, finds the win. Miami takes the opener.
It's a big round right there from Real. The 1v2 clutch. Isolates on the first gunfight through the vent. And then gets the info, repositions, and then another gunfight through the vent. Real might just be a rat. Secures the round there for Miami. Start off 1-0.
Uno contra dos, papá.
And I think just in
Primera
particular
ronda.
the
Miami.
decision to challenge the plant when they do, because the read was there. Like they knew Real was playing on the garage door. Toronto was starting to get some pace up, but good challenge coming
Sí,
through.
no, que
Good
no
read
quería
from Miami.
plantar porque pensaba que le iba a venir por la
All of
vuelta
that
de
pressure. Now
atrás. En
their
verdad,
first
esto,
chance at their
man,
next
hermano.
offense.
Tan difícil.
Nosotros
no hacemos un coño.
No, nosotros somos arreo como el video que también en Instagram.
Yeah, you know, you've got a defender over towards the garage door, but Real, not the bomb planner. He can actually move a little bit further forward, see if he can scale up.
Ay,
You
Dios
see
mío.
Kleenex making the slide back into the
No,
side
yo no
of
sé cómo tú
Real.
estás vivo.
Down the pitch. Mercules trying to work with Kleenex to hold on to the site, but the trades are still good for Miami, leaving the rookie up for the 1v2.
Uno contra dos. Si tú ganas esto, uy, Dios mío, por poquito. Se alinearon por un segundo. Yo pensé que el pan iba a tener el momento.
Consistently finding trades because players in the right position. And if you have a 2v1 to close it out, usually it's going to leave one of us standing at the end. And thankfully, Rencore just instantly commits on the double chow. And they quickly go up 2-0.
And again, I just love this tempo of decision for Miami. Not only is the bomb getting on, you're going to get a sub a little bit further forward. Make that defense really work for the retake. It's worked out really nicely so far, both on the defensive and offensive sides here for Miami. What adjustments are we going to see from Toronto? Are they just going to get something a little bit more aggressive? There's the trophy, names over the top. Stuns also making their way through, but the defense for Miami is not really here. They're elected to give away this space initially.
Yeah, so you should just instantly work this bomb plant. This is what Ultra love to do on a map like Dealership. So Deceives, stay alive from all the nades and explosions over the top. Bomb gets planted 4-4.
Yeah, and Miami's going to be scrambling here. They were hoping all those nades and utilities were going to be able to deter this plant. But they do
Viene
find
ese llorado. Uy, se ha llorado,
trying to slide for a
Trade,
third,
trade.
but Real's able to find the trade. But he's on his lonesome. 1v2, and he's got to try to push off not just inside, but also Mercules on these long corners. I believe he may have seen both.
Yeah, he has info on both. So it's about challenging at the right
María,
time,
loco,
but
pero-
you peeked the wrong corner, and the team fires good enough for Ultra to put one on the board. This time they're like, okay, we're on offense. We got trophy systems. Let's play with the same aggression we did in round number 1. But if this time they're not going to show face, instantly work the bomb plan and it works out.
The interesting thing about that, though, is Toronto
Pues nada,
only throws, I
yo-
think, the one trophy on the
no
corner.
es
I don't think
nada
they have
ahí,
one on the
loco.
bomb. So Miami is banking on, okay, we'll just use all of our nades to get the bomb planner. And it got Joe low, but not low enough to find the kill. So keep that in mind next time Miami tries to play defense. I imagine they will not be just giving away that space for free in the future.
Now they're going to
Yeah,
switch
yeah,
up their
lo
approach
gritaron.
on their offense. Aggressive as hell over towards B, but you already gained the info if you are Kleenex. Now, going to give the comm to your teammates, start to hit that rotation on back, because this is where the play is going to come in.
Yeah, really good zone of control established by the utility, and this is what I love about how Miami play this map. They're always trying to get someone to scale deeper into the site. Bomb plant not in yet. Mercury's thinking about throwing a shoulder. Real nearby. Rancor backing up to watch the flank, and Miami's going to try to catch Toronto, trying to challenge this bomb, and that's exactly why Real makes good on his position for first blood.
You still can't really
Oh,
work this
qué
objective
buena,
unless you find
loco.
some success in the middle of the map. Thankfully, Meadows starts off with the first. Rancor on the pinch. Now it's a
De verdad
1v4
la jugaron
for
super.
receives.
Anda pa'l carajo,
He's at
yo.
least able to find the first, but
Sí, planta,
a
vete,
1v3
vete,
with
vete,
40
Joe,
seconds, they know
vámonos.
exactly where you are. Everyone just chow at once.
I absolutely love how Miami are playing this map right now.
Están respetando a yo.
The information. And again, it's just a triple stack of Heratic's members. Nowhere to go for JD. But again, it's a second straight offensive round. You get deep, you scale through, you set something up, you get a read when Toronto's defense is moving over, and then the player deep in the site makes his move for first blood. It's beautiful from Heratic.
¿Tú crees que esta gente
Yeah,
tiene que estar
we
bien
have to be a little
nerviosa?
more
Bueno, por lo
spread
menos
on
el
your
pana
defensive looks. I know you're a
solito,
great
el
team
nuevo
at
que tiene que
retaking,
estar
but when you're giving up a
temblando.
lot of space, you don't really have an opportunity to retake it because they have all the power positions. So want to make sure you're initially showing face to the middle of the mat, aggressive through courtyard. You know, it's a lot more difficult to retake over towards that B site once it gets planted. But they give up that space. Real takes advantage of it. He strikes for the first blood. It's been 4 straight first bloods from Miami on this map so far.
Oh,
now they're up 3-1.
Yep, and here we go. Miami's not going to play that same passive defense. They're going to stack with all 4 members with pre-fire already going down over towards the corner. Super finds first blood. And look at the space that Metals has taken. He's already deep at mid. The only thing that's different here is that Ultra have gotten someone all the way through, and a teammate somehow comes out, getting us to a 3v3.
Oh, yeah, so now if you're Mercury, it's just like, hey.
That's good. Oye, por lo menos sabadito.
I took a lot of space. Now I'm going to work this flank once Kleenex falls. So I got to try to make up
La
for him
tuviste
the
suerte,
numbers.
loco.
Thankfully, you're able to
pero felicidades, felicidades.
save him. Now it's Insight.
¿Cómo se siente? ¿Cómo se siente?
Insight, this is one of those tough work type moments. Yeah, just jump at him. You know exactly where he's at. And it's another moment, like, even though the teammate comes through, but again, because the Heretics get someone deep in the map, yeah, you have to worry about that flank eventually, but it just scatters this Ultra setup so much to where they can't play anything together after first blood's already been tallied.
Yeah, this is why it's so tough to come in on basically 1 day of practice. On a brand new lineup and try to
pues yo no sé nada de eso.
have some S&D strategies versus one of the best S&D teams that we had throughout
Pero
stage 3.
yo no voy para allá. ¿Cuándo tienes que entrar los
Showing
papeles?
their dominance. Another first blood in their back pocket. That time it was a stack over towards A. Instantly shut down that aggressive push, forced them to try to do something else. And then just play your numbers to your advantage. 4-1 now. Miami back on the offense. And this time the bomb carrier is actually going to take his time over towards A. So let's just show a little aggression over towards B, hold the defense, and then wrap it back towards A.
Again, I love this idea. You're going to throw bait and just say that, look at us, we're throwing all of our numbers towards B.
Mira, gente, mi
And
hermano,
Toronto's gonna
le
take
dieron
their
el
time
trabajo,
to
se está
reclear that
culeco.
tin shack again because
Me alegra
of the
un
position
montón.
that Miami
Dímelo,
were in the
Tini.
last time. So they're sending all 4 members over, and this
Bueno,
fake
Miami
has
me
worked
parece que
out
se va a llevar
beautifully. The
ese
only thing that's a
filtro
little bit
bastante
mismanaged here
cómodo.
is that Miami have not aggressed at all towards A, and Toronto are going to be able to reset up their defense.
Yeah, that's the only thing. You just didn't take any space when Toronto started to hit that rotation over towards B. But now, just going to have it collect. Head clash in towards the A site. Metals with the first blood.
And we can back up. We can take our time. Rewrapping is Real back over towards B. Mid-map has stayed in control largely of Toronto the entire time, but they haven't been able to sniff out where exactly Miami's moving towards, and that's where the problem starts to occur. Once again, Real scales forward, Metals for the plant. Joe finds one on the flank, but I don't know if it's going to make much of a difference. This setup for Miami is so good.
Yeah, they actually lay onto Rencor, but it's man disadvantage. So, if you are Miami, just everyone watch each other's back. Don't let anyone slip on by. Kleenex is going to get
Kleenex está craqueado. El hecho
que
que le haya pegado un hit mal que la asusta. ¿Cómo estás, Tini?
He's so dedicated on just finding this kill to Real. He's probably going to run out of time.
Yeah, he's absolutely going to run out of time. Real's just dancing with him. There's the follow-up. This has been a clinic of how to play dealership search and destroy. Both sides of the bomb have looked
Bendito, pero es que Ultra
absolutely perfect from
tienen
Miami.
el chamaquito nuevo.
They still
me
haven't
imagino
had
que
a
era-
first death yet. They've counted every
Pasa.
first blood. This has been a masterclass.
Ya lo bola ya.
Hey, when you play the map
Rápido.
3 or 4 times throughout the stage, every single one goes to around 11. Eventually, you're going to make some of those adjustments to start having some blowouts. And so far, the key to success has been that early first blood for them. Put yourself in the man advantage. You continuously are playing trades to close out these rounds.
Dios bendiga la
Now we're at
abuela.
game point, Ultra.
Permita
Trying to
allí
look
que
for
me
some
dure
fight
40
here. Let's just get a
años
first blood.
más.
How about we start there?
Defense for Miami stacking towards B. Early look for Red Court A. He sees nothing. Crossfire setup is already here.
Vamos a sacar el
They don't
juego,
even need to name Jake. They don't even need
Y a metal con tres.
For the
Meta con el ace.
Inside completely stuck. Don't know if he gets all four. It may not make any difference because Miami have just challenge.
Oh, yeah, because you think about the SMGs that he had in Challengers.
Yeah.
The way that Exceed was playing, the way that Craze was playing, it's non-stop tempo. So now you got Joe Disease and Kleenex basically doing the same exact thing. So Mercules just needs to find his kills. And Miami, already to start this game, on their defenses just get absolutely torn apart by Kleenex.
Yeah, and this is the thing, again, just looking at how Toronto kind of set themselves up, how they try to get this break off going. There's a lot of respect for that high ground control, but the SMG's fully locked in on where these pictures would likely come from. Nice shots out of Hercules, able to help Kleenex out for one, but eventually overwhelmed. That second tick not fully confirmed.
Yeah, Miami had the numbers. They were able to trade out effectively before that second segment does get locked. So now you're just trying to take a little bit of map control away from them. But Mercury's an inside. The AR is finding an opening double.
Really good.
Now you can reinforce your way through to the map to stack it and extend time early.
Yeah, Kleenex is going to be trusted to go surf out where exactly this Miami pinch is at. So second tick lock, third on the way. Here comes the collapse from the Heretics, trying to jump back into the point. Shut down, Joe Deceives, good for one. Final moment, though, is just down to Real. Kleenex looking for him. Second kill gets the alley. A little slide away allows Red Core to clean things up and get some depletion on this third tick.
Yeah, now he just wants to stay alive as long as he possibly can before the reinforcements are able to get back into the play. Metals is going to fall through Top Cat. So Ultra have an avenue of approach here. You can walk through the front door, you can drop down through the middle of the map, and that leads to all 4 dead. Time should be extended while Mercules is already watching the cutoff.
He's already seen one. Slipping through. I don't think Super saw him.
No.
You do have Real looking to keep this overextension safe, but now Mercules comes back into the play, hits the cut, but does not get there in time. 15 plays 14, minute 27 on the clock, small advantage for Toronto.
Yeah, Miami, every kill that they get, just need to continuously push on forward. Real and Rentor already combining for 2. Mercules trying to rip out the guy from top art. But he just wants to hold this position for his team. But now you got to watch your back line because here comes Real. He's only able to get 1, so you clear out your spawn. But 12v11, you don't have a lot of opportunities to play trades.
Yeah, you've got maybe 2 hits at this if you're Ultra. Middle of the map goes back in the way of Toronto. Now the pressure. Whoa, they find Rancor. Front side of the zone. Plus Hercules now pushes up through the palms. Last one left alive at the moment, at least in terms of who's furthest forward for the defense's medals. You're going to get a little bit of a pinch established by Real, but it's being watched by Joe Deceives, or is it? It should have been, but doesn't really fully come through. Kills come out, and that's enough to at least get this tick, I think, confirmed there. Yeah, sure is for Toronto.
Yeah, the biggest kill right there was Real finding a timing through double doors. He's able to get 1, walk away with his life and his AR from the top side of Arc. Also finds the second kill, so 40 seconds to go. Basically, the last was coming in for Ultra because they only have 6 lives remaining. Insight almost gets the better of Super, but once he falls, now it's your last push.
Yeah, Metals is going to shut down B Street. Everything's going to have to come through vault stairs. And yeah, you've got Real just kind of running circles. Yeah, and cleaning everything up. So Miami's going to hold defensively. Not the worst start, though, all things told, for the side of Toronto. Insight wasn't able to quite get things going, but you get 4 ticks. Not bad.
4 ticks definitely isn't bad when you're spawning in on the offense without any trophy systems, but thankfully if you're Miami, you had a Real because the ARs are just so posted on their side of the spawn, and the only person taking space once those kills are going down is Real. Thankfully, he was able to win one-on-one gunfight after one-on-one. Goes 12-6 at the opening round with 1,300 damage. He was the guy setting the tone there. Now you got 4 seconds to make up.
Yeah. And I think just kind of comparing to the stats that we had from the Stage 3 qualifiers, that's actually a really solid defense for Miami.
Oh, yeah.
A team that had really, really struggled on that side of the zone. But now you get a chance to go over to the attack. And I'm going to keep my focus, again, just firmly planted on what route does Mercules want to take here in terms of, is he going to be trusted on the island to watch the B Street, or are they going to try to get him in the mix?
Yeah, realistically, you just want Joe Deceives and Kleenex to really dictate to how this round is going to go, because Toronto Ultra, so far in this stage, they've been able to outslay on the defensive side by almost 8 kills, and that's usually through your SMGs just non-stop in their grill. Two
How
making
about
3
that?
kills initially go their way. They instantly shut down that first push.
I love that. That's just one sub on one side, one sub on the other. Mercules hangs out with Insight, or pardon me, Kleenex, and then jumps back over to help out. Joe Disease finds 3 kills to open things up. Beautiful start for the rookie. Yeah, just evaluating what his efficacy is going to look like when it comes to being a CDL potential player. He's hitting it to this point. Solid start here for Toronto defensively. Real, good win. Keeps the pressure on to B for a small time, but Mercules right there to find the trade.
Oh, yeah. They just consistently are having the numbers on every single one of these engagements. Mercules with the double. Joe Deceives loses the one-on-one after taking down one, but you already have another line of defense here to contest it while Mercules is already pushed out over towards ammo. Now he's forcing Miami to overextend through pool.
Yeah, they've got the perfect defensive setup. They have lost Super, and he's going to need to touch this zone and pull this defense back because his teammates are in hell right now.
Eventually he tries to get back into the play, but Kleenex on the wrap back is able to locate Super. It's not 26 seconds, not a single segment earned on the side of Miami. You're trying to get something done or at least pull a defense over towards B so you can open up a lane through the middle of the map, but Jodeci strikes for 2.
Dude.
And now you need to make a miracle happen.
I am loving what I'm seeing from Mercules. 14 and 8, getting it done now with both weapons.
Hello.
Give him 9 in a row. Oh my goodness, what a debut for Mercules. Toronto suffocating this Miami offense. Last chance, it had to come through B Street. Kleenex keeping him on the pinch. Joe right there with him, and there's just no way they could touch his zone. Beautiful.
That's just too much aggression there. Usually with Beans on a map like Vault, he's the guy strictly running an AR. Insight's gonna be switching between that SMG and that AR role, but Mercules picks up an SMG and he goes on 9 in a row. Don't know if he's able to earn himself the Hellstorm, but once he finds all these kills through B Street, blocks the spawn while pushing out ammo, and then just consistently winning one-on-one gunfight after one-on-one gunfight. The rookies having a good series so far.
Having a great series. So now Toronto, huge advantage in terms of the current tick progression.
Wow.
And we'll get a chance at their second offense with trophy systems to help give them some
Espectacular la
support
comida.
on their breakoff. Now, I will say, and I don't think Mercules is going to quarterback this play, but usually round 3 offenses for Mid Brooklyn were through vault stairs to B.
Yeah.
Will there be something like that for Toronto? No, not this time.
It's non-stop aggression through the middle of the map because they know if we secure these 3 segments here at A, we guarantee ourselves defense if it does go to a round number 5 and Inside and Kleenex last 2 standing. Gonna guarantee that first segment. Now Miami have to hit a couple routes to work their way back on in. Thankfully, Metals wins the 1 through Cat.
Yeah, Stack will get the second tick of progress locked in. Kleenex helping out, able to find 1 trade, but finds self trying to slip through, but not gonna happen. And now Mercules, yeah, caught trying to toss a stun. So Miami's defense is able to recover, but it comes at the cost of the 2 ticks already mentioned.
Yeah, second segment does get locked, so you're currently up by 6 if you're ultra.
Loco, tiene un granito de arroz en los
You're looking
brackets.
to not give up
Sí a la madre, pero ya.
Just need to keep on slaying the way that we have been. It was Real to set the tone first on the defense, but everyone else is starting to come activated. Kleenex last man standing, the beat down good enough for Rencore to find that kill. Now all of Ultra off the respawn.
Joe gets caught in a weird spot. The perfect spawn trap starting to be built here for Miami. Mercules cleans out B Street. Metal seen at the front doors, but keeps his life. Stun does not connect. Joe trying to work through this. Again, more damage coming through, but Super's got his cross. And this is as deadly as anything we've seen. Just the 2 ticks for now, and Miami are not bending on this spawn trap at all.
Yeah, they can't breathe. Like 21v9. We're blocking the spawns on both ends. So you're consistently spawning towards the backside of the tank. As soon as you're coming off the respawn, the stun is hitting you right into the grill. So Ultra, after a magnificent start to this round, have nothing else to show for it besides those 2 segments. But Inside of Mercules at the right time. Clutch up, find it 2. You can work your way back in A.
Metals has gotten 1. Super red, healed up with quickly. No way. So there's the extra 60 seconds. The probability of them winning this round is still low, but it's not impossible. Clock comes to a pause. Joe on the site, and now it's just Super, the only one really to contest from top window.
To read these pitches though, because you know Miami are going to set up on some of these long routes. They know that Stack isn't going to be there, and now you have no more respawns on the side of Ultra. So your last push has to go through the front. Your AR is already full. And it's going to be Miami standing strong again.
But still, that extra tick of progress is everything for Toronto. So even though it looked like it was just going to be the only 2 that previously captured, it will be 3. So now for Miami, you got to get this done by way of full capture.
Yeah, realistically, you want to close it out on this round. Because you secure every single segment. Obviously, that's the end of the map, but you're guaranteed if we do go to that round number 5 to be on the attack again.
Ese kill cam.
Thankfully, the AR,
Coño.
sometimes the SMGs in the hand of the AR players.
Drop
They're able to slay.
It's
That's
not,
been an issue so far
loco.
throughout this stage for Miami. A map that they used to love. They just really couldn't figure out once you added Super into the lineup of how they wanted to play it, how they were going to execute their slaying. They've been showing it so far on their defensive side.
Yeah, which is, again, just looking at the qualifier stats, already an improvement in terms of them being able to capitalize and win defensive rounds. But like you mentioned, the math will favor Toronto if this does get to 5 rounds. Metal's taking her out underneath. This is a B hit developing, but Toronto not going to be surprised by this. They haven't seen anything in A, so the setup is perfectly already set up for this B defense, and trades are fine enough. Mercury's only able to find one, and Real's actually going to get a route that pushes the spawns for Toronto way out. So Miami will get a
La escalera.
So how much more can Real do in this position? He's able to get one, almost get out of dodge. That at least guarantees one segment here at B. Your other AR on the opposing end is still holding down this cross angle, and let's just stay on the point.
Yeah.
They can't get near you.
Good kills coming through. Rencor up top, dealt with. Super trying to keep his life. He's got Real working with him. Help on the way, though. And here comes the pinch from Kleenex. No one's watching it from vault stairs. He's going to find the first. Real pushed away. Still kicking for now. Third tick being worked on. Here comes South from Miami trying to watch over this pinch, but Real will drop. Now it's on the metals. Joe Deceives dancing with him. Gets him down to essentially a point. Mercury's will finish off the play. Toronto will hold.
Yeah, this is where we don't want to waste any more time. Okay, we got 2 segments at B. We're on by 2 lives. We'll start to work our way over towards A. Just need to take some cat control. And right now, Toronto have every single one of those angles cut off. But Super through the double doors finds one. Now the last man standing is going to be Kleenex, and they are still committing at this B point.
Good shout from Super. Takes out the contested over towards stairs side. Miami trying to get back over to get this extra 60 seconds. Inside in the way, though. Wins the first one cleanly. Real with the trade. Now the Semtex now finds the second. Up top. It's just down to Kleenex. He'll fall, and that'll be an extra 60 seconds with the 5 life advantage for the Heretics.
Yeah, now Mercury knows that we already lost that B point. I need to try to take some space in their spawn, but he loses the one-on-one gunfight. Now Miami have a stack going. You gotta go if you're Ultra.
You sure do, and Real's putting pressure on the pinch, making sure the defense is held back in their spawn a little while longer. Good slip away from Real. Kills so much time, allowing that first tick of progress to get locked. Rencor still existing right under the noses of Toronto, but now has been seen. Still comes away with one. It's just down to the Rook.
Oh, Mercury's, what can you get done? Can you at least stall out time for your teammates to get back into the play? Because Real, or Rencor on the other hand, he put himself in a position to get the players off the respawn, so you instantly have the numbers. That's 4 dead. Miami should win this now.
And Supers giving a little ceremonious welcome to the league there at the end as Miami will get the
Mira, se levantó Super y todo.
edge of the series in a major way. A huge swing.
Here we go into the
Así son las competencias, no hay más nada. Tienen que darle duro mañana. Están en loser ahora mismo. Pero vamos, juego 4. Me sorprende que Metal está jugando súper bien.
Yeah, look at the early rounds of Kleenex just going underneath, and he's going to try to surprise Rencor here through ladder, and that's exactly what happened.
Sí, mano, yo, de verdad, en mi corazón quiero que ganen. Quiero que por lo menos sorprendan, lleguen segundo. No, que ganen, que ganen. Si eliminan a alguien como que heavy, como que si eliminan a Face o eliminan a Editándolo o eliminan a Seattle, yo voy a estar contento. Porque en verdad que esta gente se ve que todos tienen corazón, ¿verdad? Pero no sé, les tengo como que un cariño extra porque simplemente hablan español. Déjale, papá. Lo malo es que yo tengo cita con el ortodoncista, so creo que va a pasar lo mismo que hoy. Que voy a llegar, posiblemente llegue y ya hayan pasado 2 juegos. Pero llego. Hermano, me cogí la cita tarde y me salió mal la jugada, porque no sabía que el evento era esta semana. Vaya, Mercury con 2. Uy.
Good long shots though from Joe Deceives. Keeps the numbers reduced here for Miami. Metals to kind of play by himself with the blockers, but he catches one. Opens the door for Super to kind of take the baton and run with it. And that flips the spawns. What a start for Miami. Up 30 plus points. Real trying to finesse the scrap time, but Miami have won the macro game again. Flipping spawns.
Now that you flip those spawns, you can still be aggressive towards this side of the map at P2. Metals will job to play keep away. And everyone else just watch those routes off the rotation because Miami now, back to back, have an opportunity to blow this game wide open. Metals, unfortunately, is going to fall off hold. And all of Ultra, they just work off the routes, and it works out perfectly. 3 for 1. At least
yo tengo un plan para rank porque tengo 2 personas que están en Crimson. So yo voy a hacer una serie de 2 conos y 2 Crimson. So voy a jugar rank, no te preocupes. Contigo va a ser lo difícil porque ya tengo las personas como tal. Pero que voy a jugar, sí, sí. Hasta que no creo que sea todo el tiempo. Porque todavía tengo que sacar las pistolas en oro. Saco clips a sniper. Tengo el botiquín lleno. Qué buena, loco.
Again, it's just another hard point that starts off so cleanly for Miami. They know they're going to be a little bit late to the party here at P4. Metal's going to take the long route through both. Hercules the one to read that, plus another. And he's going to be calling for help here, surely. Lots of noise being created from the front. Real opening up some space through Spiral. Forces the ARs to step up for Toronto. They provide exactly as they need to. Metal's the last
Metal está vivo. Metal con 2. Y tú matas el tercero.
I think it was 1 HP, but Joe DeCease will get the Septex to take him out of the play.
Now you got Real going on the bench. He knows that this player's coming off the respawn. Does he time it to perfection or just absolutely slamming inside off of that gunfight? So now you have to work your way through big doors to 3v3.
There comes the flood. Phase lands. Fob off good from Redcore. Joe DeCease by himself. Lots of low health pools, but cannot find more than the first. Insight thought about it.
La bichuela jodió un poco a Ultra, pero pues son situaciones que
This is only getting uglier here for Toronto.
Yeah, and this is good 20 seconds to fight for. It's just you might not have an opportunity to contest it because Redcore and Metals combined for 3. So now Insane, who was waiting patiently for his team, has to continue to wait and never approach that HP. So
alguien tiró una foto.
By 60 after the first set. Rotation is going to be won by them as well. And they are just consistently now playing ahead of the game.
And this is, I think, looking at this map,
sí, mano, porque tenemos Joe, que Joe está negativo.
This is where we're seeing the lack of beans has really impacted Toronto's ability to break hills. It just is not getting set up. It's not getting structured. They're trying to win rotation. They're trying to win spawns, but once they lose that battle, there isn't a plan.
Goya tiene que ser bueno.
Towards breaking these
pero Ultra, espérate.
You have to just rotate better here is what I'm getting out of your Toronto.
Ultra con el comeback. No se vale. Si Joe caliente, esto se pone feo.
Here on the P1, every time Miami try to contest this, work their way through mid-gun, the ARs have the crossfire set up to not even allow them to contest this. But now if you're Real, who's probably already weak on the HP, how long can he stay alive? Not for long, and Toronto continuously holding.
Joe DeCease last one standing here though for Ultra. Nice finesse, allows Inside to come.
Ya lo Rinkle va 19-11.
Toronto still holding on to the right side of the minimap for the spawns for new. But Metals, Real, working on cleaning up top mid. And there's a chance for them to do this.
Sí, cambiaron spawn. Van a colapsar ahora mismo en el punto.
You can already see what Redcore does. Because my teammates spawn on the backside of Grandma's. That means one spawns behind me. So let me guarantee this one-on-one. Everyone else putting their gunfights through the front. And we can trap them on the backside of tower. A 20-11 start from the other rookie on this squad. He has been unbelievable with this AR.
Has been. Inside through top barrels.
Y a Cleanex con 2.
Allows Toronto to get back into the hard point. This is key time, again, for a rotation that looked really solid for Miami. Toronto now only being down about 20 points. Feels kind of miraculous, and it's not getting any worse here for Toronto. They're still holding on to scrap time at 2.
And you see what it's doing to the spawns now for Miami. You do not want to be in this situation where you got players like Redcore who dictate the game. Miami currently up by 20. Let's step aside and go to a listening with the home team.
Yeah.
Y otro semicírculo. Barco,
¡Viene!
¿Tienes la izquierda entera?
Qué buena, loco. Rencor está jugando brutal. Siempre juega bien. Yo no he visto como que un mal juego así asqueroso. Súper consistente. Uy, no. Ay, loco, me asusté. Yo pensé que sí le iba a dar los dos. Sí, Ultra. Yo creo que empata con estos puntos. Uy. Está feo. Metal no se metió. No, son 3, son 3.
Son dos puntos. Sí, son los dos últimos. Han nacido mapas,
Sí, se han nacido mapas. Vamos de paro.
Vale. Voy a pinchar al medio, bro.
Voy por la izquierda, ¿vale?
Sí,
¡Uy, no! ¡Qué timing!
Cuidado que pueden abrir pedos.
Dos en Víctor, dos en Víctor.
Te pega a pillarle el Víctor.
Mapas, bro.
Tiene un carrito que se joda.
Ábrete.
Vale, dale ya. Caracol no veo nada.
Tiro uno.
Están heavy, bro.
Tiro dos.
Se ha ido Caracol.
Qué mierda, mano. ¡Buena! ¡Buena!
Punto y el Víctor.
¡Ay, no! Qué buena insight.
Si va a agitar Caracol, me
Caracol muerto.
Aguante y el a 200 millas.
Otra vez el Víctor.
Buena. Metal está jugando brutal. Este juego está bueno.
Buena meta, bro.
Pilla elevator, no mapa.
Vete si puede haber alguien mapas. Víctor, inside.
Te ayuda,
Ay, la jodió.
Phoenix izquierda.
Está bien.
Vale, vamos a pedo gente.
A rotar.
Estoy abriendo mapas.
Vale, míralo tú.
Voy a estar en mapas.
No, ay, qué
Vete un
timing.
F3.
It's a tale of two rotations right now,
Ya lo
Jay.
está
Miami
pegadito.
looking flawless. A lot in rotation on hill to hill. in
Todo es el
P1,
juego,
P2,
brother.
But now you got Toronto cleaning up from 3 to 4 with a lead as we head back to our third set of hills.
Yeah, as soon as we got to that P3 and we jumped into the listen, and Rencore was calming in Spanish. I'm able to understand a little bit, but he's saying, all right, you guys need to calm down. We need to listen to me because we're too frantic. We're just allowing these guys to pick us apart.
dijo eso?
One-on-one
Ya,
gunfights
yo
and not putting our focus on the front door. And so far, Ultra made P3 scrappy. They dominated over towards the P4, and now they're up by 20 with Miami. They just flicked, and they were up by 50, and all of a sudden, that lead is gone.
Yep, blink of an eye. A really solid couple of hills in a row for Toronto. Insight on another large spree. He was on 6 just a moment ago. He's back on to 5.
Miri mato. Ya lo si hubiera esperado un ratito la granada lo
Last 12
maybe no.
seconds looks good here for Ultra.
Ay,
Joe's gonna stop around
yo creo que
underneath. This
Toronto
could lead to a
va
game-winning play
a
right here.
forzar el juego número 5.
You're slaying your way through the front side. You're trapping them over towards trip window. So you're
Ah,
going
qué
to win the
buena, mano.
rotation
Pero la
over towards
esquinita.
P2. But now everyone's dropping around inside. He's going to be the last man standing. So Miami find the early break.
Si Miami
This
coge
is their
estos
way back
puntos, se
into the
empata el
game.
juego
You're
por
down by 40.
completo.
You need to contest
Esto se va a poner bueno. Inside con racha.
Is not going to allow him to fully set up.
Not at all. Rancor's able to find one, though, as the hell starts being called in. And it comes through quickly. So Toronto will get Miami out of the hill, but they still have to battle against the wave of Heratic members that are still here. And the battle's going to rage right on top of the hard point. Kleenex looking for a route, cleans up one, aims up high, but it's back and forth. Pinstripe kill feed, leaving Super the last one left, and as he drops, Toronto looking for the scrap.
And after Miami, you don't be too aggressive on this play because you don't want to
chamaquito le
spawn out
mete.
that old Mercury's taking space away.
Está negativo ahora mismo, pero tiene pegada.
This position, they're all the way across the map.
Oh, nice little route here from Hercules, just changing up the position and keeping Miami further back, deep in towards the spawn, not necessarily putting together a buffer zone in front of the hard point. Now the long route from Hercules working out as he gets stopped on 3 in a row. Miami still holding on to spawns, but they need this next wave of gunfights, and so far so good. Joe thinking about it with an AR, will jump in for the contest, and now wants the challenge, but Miami will clean things up.
Yeah, can't go one by one right here if you're Ultra. Someone has to develop on a long route. Everyone is just getting gunned down.
Todavía están exponiendo, sí, todavía
Able to
tienen
get a
spawn.
clean forward
Hay que
dead,
tener cuidado, no
stabilize
pueden
on the map,
virar.
put someone in a position to hard block those back spawns.
Qué buena esquinita, qué buena esquinita. Todavía está vivo. Ahora murió.
Oh, they clean up Real. Now they're trying to isolate onto Super. Nice shots from Hercules, but Rancor on the other side
Rancor
has
está
gotten 2 from the Heratic.
35-23.
Spawn still staying stable for Miami. Hercules working on the pin. Red and dealt with. Clean. This is looking really solid for Miami. 5 in a row for medals. Rancor going to beat him there, and now over 200 points.
Diablo, Rancor con 6.
A clean wipe. The spawns will move, and they can rotate to 4 first.
Whoa. Bees in the lineup, their breaks are not going to be the best, but now you need one here at the money hill. Miami breached that 190-point mark. They have a couple players early off the rotation, so Ultra needed break and they needed quick.
Oh,
loco, ¿qué pasó? Y la granada, pero ¿qué pasó?
Takes out his teammate plus himself. That essentially eliminates the first hit for Ultra. They're going to have one more look at this, Jay.
Yeah, but the setup right now for Miami could easily be picked apart. It's only 2 plays in the
Qué buena,
HP.
pucho ahí.
Find the opening kill through top mid. You just got to plug your way on in.
That's coming through the front. Rancor trying to spam things down. Super working with them. Battle's right there. Part of the play. That's another full.
Ya lo Miami puede ganar aquí, no puede ser.
Ultra are going to do this. It's going to be scrappy. Someone's going to have to be a
No,
hero.
Rancor,
Jodeci finds
aunque
the first
estaba ahí,
play.
estaba
Here comes
lejos.
the hit.
You got the numbers.
Qué buena se lo llevó.
Miami take the lead. Last push coming in from Ultra. Gunfights in favor of Miami.
Real still hanging on the corner though. Jodeci still
Loco,
win.
Miami, no
Last 10
puede
seconds.
ser.
Touch this in time. It would have to
Diablo, Inside con la granada, lo jodió. Diablo. Mira. Diablo, el pana está molesto. Metal tenía sueño, mira, Metal tenía sueño. ¿Qué cojonudo el chamaquito? Ah, lo conoce, le dio dos taps, eso significa pana. Eso es pana. Es así 2 veces, pana. Son los códigos. Oye, bendito, pero Ultra, pues ni modo, estaba jugando con un sustituto. Y yo no sabía que el sustituto era Mercury, yo creo que eso fue última hora. Todo era nuevo.